Rightio. Let's try and not trip now. So, good evening. I'm in central Scotland, round about near Perth, and hopefully we're going to get a wee show of the Northern Lights tonight. We've had yellow alerts on like the apps, like the Glendale app, which is quite a reliable app for Aurora hunters. So yeah, a yellow alert for tonight for the Aurora, so we're hoping that something kicks off soon. Just now it's just the slightest green haze and some red on the top of the horizon pretty much, which is just, you know, the very top of the Aurora. Sorry, I'm just shielding my mic from the wind because it's very windy. So I've got a time lapse going over there. I'll show you that and how I'm capturing that, but we're just waiting. It's only about 8 o'clock just now, so the Aurora sometimes kicks off about 8:30, 9 o'clock seems to be quite a good time for the Northern Lights. So I was just here in plenty of time getting ready for it. So thankfully we've got clear skies, because the past few weeks the Aurora has been really good over northern Scotland, but Tayside and the Central Belt's not been getting the best weather, unfortunately, so I've not seen it in ages. So I'm excited for tonight, since there's a lot of corona. Whoa! What the hell? There's a huge flash just happened there. It's just a fireball just burnt up, and Jesus, it gave it a fright. Yeah, we're hoping to get a good show, because I've not seen the Northern Lights in ages. I can't remember what I was saying now. But yeah, I got here in plenty of time to try and get a time lapse set up to try and capture the arc rising. So I'm hoping it happens, because I've not seen the Northern Lights for ages, and this year's been really good. The activity's been very good. There's a lot of coronal holes on the sun's surface, and sun flares kind of giving off radiation and solar winds, which is making for good shows throughout Scotland. So there's been some fantastic shows up north, like Iceland, Norway and that, so I'm just hoping we get something today, but we'll still see. So I'll update you when the Aurora kicks off. I'll show you the time lapse on how I'm capturing that, so fingers crossed it kicks off soon. So I've just set up my time lapse. It's just a Canon 13D with a standard kit lens, 18mm to 55mm, and it's just taking a time lapse pretty much. I'm not going to disturb it, because I might get a star trail out of it, and if I stop it to see what the time lapse looks like, it gives me gaps in the star trail, and I don't want that, so I might get a star trail out of that, I don't know. But time lapse is good, because if you do check it, it shows you if the Aurora is getting bigger or smaller, if it's gaining in the sky or not. So every now and then I will check it just very, very quickly and see if it's growing or if it's going away. If it's starting to go away, then it's a pretty pointless night, but if it's growing, go get excited. So it's just there. It's about 7 degrees, so I don't have to worry about frost getting on that lens. I'll just leave that camera out for 2 hours, 3 hours, and hopefully it'll get a cracking time lapse of the Aurora growing and falling. So I'm excited for that, and it is getting a wee bit brighter. Yeah, I can see more of a glow on the northern horizon, so I might try and get some pictures with this camera. But I'll leave that alone and not disturb it, and keep checking the forecast to hopefully a good Aurora show tonight. So I'm still waiting for the Aurora to kick off. It's very windy up here just now. The green arc's starting to get a bit bigger now, thank goodness. So we're just seeing a bit more of a green. So I'm keeping track of the forecast by looking at this app called Glendale Aurora app. It's a fantastic app. I'll pop it on the screen. It's a fantastic app to keep up to date on what's happening with the Aurora. There's a guy called Andy Stables in the Isle of Skye. He's like a Aurora enthusiast, and he made this app, and he pretty much just gives updates on what the Aurora's doing every single night. So every night check the Glendale app, and he pretty much does an overview of what the likelihood of seeing the Northern Lights over Scotland is going to be that night. Fantastic app. There's loads of other apps as well, such as, well, I don't use apps, I use like websites, such as I look at Shetland webcams like kind of every night almost. Spaceweatherlive.com, that shows you all when the solar winds are supposed to hit Earth and the KP readings. I know they're not that important, but it shows the what do you call it, the activity in the on the earth every night. So you follow that and you see when the activity is going to peak. So there's loads of apps, but always check Shetland, because if you go on a Shetland webcam and they're dancing in Shetland, that pretty much means they'll be dancing anywhere in Scotland, so that's always good. But Glendale app, check that every night or so. It gives a nice overview. So I just checked Glendale there, and they said there's going to be a peak in 25 minutes or so. So that's what I'm focusing on. Time lapse is going. Hopefully we'll get something. It is getting greener, the sky, so I think I've got everything crossed. I want to see a good show again. I've not seen a show since December, so I'm sure we'll get one soon. Rightio, I'll get back to the time lapses and hope this kicks off soon. So here's the view of the southern sky just now. We've got lovely Orion, Aldebaran, Taurus, the Pleiades and Mars just almost near the Pleiades just now. So that's the southern sky just now. Beautiful crystal clear skies. So I'll try and get some pictures of Orion as well, because, well, you can't not get a picture of Orion when it's out. You can also faintly see the Milky Way just going straight up and down, which is awesome to see. The Milky Way core is rising in the morning sky just before dawn, so I'm expecting to get a good video of that in the next couple of weeks. Milky Way is always brilliant to photograph. You just see that green tinge just starting to come over the horizon now. Please it grows, I really hope it grows. So here we, excuse me, here we go. It's starting to kick off a wee bit. You can see, I just saw a pillar over there, just straight after 25, I said the Glendale app said 25 minutes to go until a wee bit of activity. Straight away, 25 minutes, we're starting to get some pillars. Whoa, what was that? There's a light over there. But there's some pillars going on. There is a dirty big cloud right on that northern horizon, which is really annoying. But I did see a big long pillar. I think I got a wee picture of it. I've left the time lapse, so I'm hoping that's getting some good pictures. But it's just, you can see it's getting a bit more green on the horizon, and you just get the occasional wee pillar. It just happens bloody so quick. There was nothing in the sky, and then it just went boom. A wee pillar just kind of danced. But yeah, that dirty big cloud right on that horizon where I don't want it to be. So hopefully that moves along and we get to actually see more of the green. But hey ho, it's something. So a bit of a disaster. The clouds have started to roll in, which is annoying as hell. They're just coming in from the north. They're meant to clear about 2-3 AM, but I don't know if I could stay that long. You can see that's where the Aurora is. It's just a bit more green there, and you can see the faint red as well. That's just the top of the Aurora. It's always a red sort of tinge. You always see that first coming over the horizon, and you get the green. There was a pillar just moved about there a couple of minutes ago, but it's just faded back now. So kind of losing against the clouds. It keeps just forming overhead, but hey ho, that's part of the fun. I wouldn't really say fun anymore. I'm kind of getting annoyed at it, but aye. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so for actually catching the Northern Lights, you know, 7, 8 attempts out of 10 is a failure normally. Just because cloud and activity, you can never predict the activity bang on. So I would say a good 7 or 8 attempts out of 10 you'll fail. So but it's them little chances, and you get in a show, them little 2-3 chances out of 10. It is worth it. It really is worth it, because you see them dancing, you can see the colour. It's definitely worth it. But I think this is going to be another fail. But there is the occasional pillars coming off. But if the cloud doesn't move, it's kind of pointless. You just see the occasional wee pillar, and you can see it to the naked eye. We'll see. You never know. A lot can change in a few minutes. Rightio, so it's just kind of kicked off. You can see over there, There's some dancing over there, but you can't really see much. And it's just gone really big, bright and green. I was just pretty much packing up. I just did that last piece of the camera, and hopefully you can see me with the brightness. It did just kind of kick off a bit, but it's behind the clouds, which is pointless. So that would be dancing to the naked eye just now. It's dancing over Shetland. I looked on the Shetland webcams just before I went, and it was like white dancing, and you know, that'd be a really good show if them clouds weren't here. So I'm getting a bit more annoyed with this night. So, but yeah, it just keeps popping off now and then. I might try and get some pictures, but it's not much just because the clouds here. I mean, that's dancing just now behind them clouds. Oh, I'm so blooming annoyed. Ah, the joys, eh? The joys. Northern Lights, yes. After a very hard December, finally we get rewarded. Fantastic, look, there's a big pillar there, right in the middle, fantastic. Oh, so good to see a show just now. After the December we've had. Oof. Oh, this is beautiful. Fantastic. I wish I had my other cameras with me. Well, that's that night finished really. It was kind of a fail, but you know, as I said, about 7, 8, 9 times out of 10 you kind of fail these things. I do this, you know, a few times every month, and they all don't go to plan. So as you can see, the clouds came over. I've been tracking it on the Met Office radar, and I've just been watching it coming straight over the sky, so it's not going anywhere. It's going to just stay there for a few hours, and by the time it clears, well, the aurora's probably died down. It doesn't really kick off really after midnight. Sometimes it does, but very rarely. But yeah, totally clouded out almost just now. You can still see bits of green. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. So I'm happy I got some shots of... I got one shot of a bright pillar, and that got quite high in the sky. I saw that with the naked eye, so that was quite nice. So at least there's something to come away with it. So I did see the Northern Lights tonight. So, you know, some people do struggle to try and find the Northern Lights, so technically, you know, it was a success. I did see the lights, but didn't get much of a show. So, but hey ho, that's just the way it goes. That's why I make these videos, because it doesn't always go to plan. I want to show how it doesn't go always to plan. Whoa, there's a pheasant just almost behind the camera. Yeah, it doesn't go to the plan all the time, so yeah. Hopefully next time. The activity's looking good throughout the week, so we'll see. I'll put the time lapse up, and so we saw the Northern Lights anyway. So thank you anyway for watching. Hopefully I'll be back out very soon. Cheers.